You've been lied to about discipline your entire life. While you're there struggling to wake up at 5 a.m., forcing military routines, and hating yourself when you fail. The Japanese built the most disciplined society in the world, doing the exact opposite of what productivity gurus teach you. They don't even have a word for discipline the way we understand it. And the craziest part? There's a 1,000-year-old Japanese secret that makes discipline as natural as breathing. Look, I spent 3 years living in Japan, and what I discovered about discipline there completely changed my life. And it has probably gonna blow your mind too, because while you're torturing yourself with productivity apps, $300 planners, and impossible routines. And no, it's not about willpower. Actually, it's about not having willpower. Stick with me cause this is gonna get interesting. Let's start with an uncomfortable truth. Western discipline is a scam. Exactly. How many times have you tried to wake up at 5 a.m. because some CEO does it? Meditate for 30 minutes a day? Do intermittent fasting? Work out every day? Read 50 books a year? Because we've been programmed to think of discipline as a war. It's you against yourself. It's brute force. It's no pain, no gain. It's mentally whipping yourself until you succeed. Seriously, think about it. The fitness industry, the self-help gurus, the productivity apps, they all profit from your failure. If you actually succeeded, you wouldn't need their next product, their next course, their next subscription. Elderly folks exercising, students going to school, shop owners opening their stores. And how many times did you fail? You know why? Americans love this narrative of the lone hero who wins through willpower, the self-made man, the mental warrior. But there's a little problem with this story. This model was designed for you to fail. Think about it. If discipline is a constant battle, what happens when you're tired? When you're stressed? When life hits hard, you lose. Always. And then comes the guilt, the feeling of failure, the vicious cycle of trying again, failing again, hating yourself again. It's exhausting, right? And that's exactly the point. Now, let me tell you what I discovered on a winter morning in Tokyo that changed everything. It was 6 a.m., below freezing, and the train station was packed, not with tourists or forced workaholics, with regular people. Nobody looked like they were suffering. Nobody had that ugh. What a sacrifice to wake up early face. That's when it hit me. The Japanese don't have discipline. They are disciplined. Hold on, let me explain. In Japanese, there's no direct translation for discipline the way we understand it. It's about doing things because they're part of who you are, not what you force yourself to be. The closest word is keiretsu, but it means something completely different. Keiretsu isn't about force. It's about our HYTHM. It's about harmony. Here's the truth that's gonna explode your mind. The Japanese don't practice discipline, they practice kata. Kata literally means form or mold, but it's so much more than that. In karate, kata are movement sequences that you repeat thousands of times until they become part of your DNA. You don't think about doing the movement. You simply are the movement. And here's the secret. The Japanese apply kata to everything in life. They don't try to wake up early. Waking up early is a kata. They don't force themselves to work well. Excellent work is a kata. They don't struggle to be organized. Organization is a kata. But how does this work in practice? How do you transform forced discipline into natural kata? After studying this for years, I identified 4 pillars that the Japanese use to transform anything into kata. First, Mushin the empty mind. They don't decide to take a shower. These things just happen. If it's time to work out, you work out without thinking, without questioning, without mental drama. You need to understand something. Your brain is your worst enemy when it comes to discipline. That's Mushin, but applied to the wrong thing. The Japanese apply it to the right things. Westerners think that thinking more equals better results. Wrong. Mushin means no mind. It's the state where you act without thinking, without judging, without questioning. You know, when you drive and arrive home without remembering the route. That's Mushin. Your body knows what to do. Your conscious mind can relax. The Japanese apply this to everything. They don't think about brushing their teeth. They're craftsmen of their art, whether it's making sushi or cleaning streets. You'd think he'd be miserable, right? Wrong. He told me, I make sure thousands of people have a dignified, clean experience every day. That's my contribution to society. Ask yourself, what would I do for free for the rest of my life because I love it so much? It's like, when you check your phone first thing in the morning, you don't decide to do it, your hand just reaches for it. How to apply it? Stop negotiating with yourself. No, just 5 more minutes. No, I'll start tomorrow. No, but it's raining. Just action. Second, Ikigai, the deep reason. Now, this is where 99% of people screw up big time. You want to wake up at 5 a.m. Why? Because some YouTuber said it's good. Because billionaires do it. Dude, that's not Ikigai. That's cheap imitation. Americans want to go from zero to hero overnight. They want the transformation montage from movies. But real life doesn't work like that. Ikigai is your reason for existing. It's what makes your heart beat faster. It's bigger than you. The Japanese don't work 12 hours a day because they're workaholics. They work because their work has meaning. I met a toilet cleaner in Tokyo who'd been doing the same job for 30 years. That's Ikigai. It's not about the task. It's about the meaning behind it. It's not because they're super disciplined. It's because being late is disrespecting other people's time. How to find your Ikigai? Stop copying other people's routines. Third, Kaizen microevolution. The direction matters more than the speed. Forget this radical change story. That's American marketing. Kaizen means continuous improvement. But it's not about being 100% better tomorrow. It's about being 0.1% better today. Real example. There's a Japanese concept called Ichigo. It means one encounter, one opportunity. Each moment is unique and will never repeat. So you give your best in that moment. Not in the month, not in the year. One more push-up, one more minute of reading, one better written email. The thing is, Japanese compound effect. 1% better per day equals 37 times better in a year. But here's what nobody tells you. 1% worse per day means you ray at 3% of your potential in a year. Fourth, social harmony. And here's the most powerful and least understood secret. In the West, discipline is individual. It's you against the world. In Japan, discipline is social. It's about not disappointing the group. You know why Japanese people don't arrive late? You know why they keep everything clean? It's not OCD. It's because dirt affects everyone around. Their discipline doesn't come from within. It comes from connection with others. This is huge, man. When your discipline is tied to others, it's not about you anymore. It's about something bigger. And that's when it becomes unbreakable. Okay, now comes the part that's gonna change your life. He said, discipline is for beginners. Masters have no discipline. They have identity. I'm gonna teach you the exact method I learned from an 87-year-old Aikido master in Kyoto. He called it Shu-Ha-Ri. This old man could throw guys half his age across the room without breaking a sweat. And when I asked him about discipline, he laughed. Then he taught me this: SHU protect, obey. Days 1 to 30. First, you copy, without questioning, without modifying, without adding your personal touch. Choose one thing, just one. It can be waking up at the same time, meditating for 5 minutes, doing 10 push-ups. The rule: do it exactly the same, every day, at the same time, for 30 days. But what if I get sick? Do it lying down. But what about weekends? Every day is a day. New pathways are forming. But they're fragile. Miss one day, and you're back to zero. No exceptions. No excuses. No negotiations. But what if I travel? Do it in the hotel. The goal isn't the result. It's creating the neural groove. Your brain is literally rewiring itself. Break, diverge. Days 31 to 60. Now you start to understand the WHY. You notice patterns. You understand what works. You start to personalize. Maybe 5 minutes of meditation becomes 7. Maybe 10 push-ups become 15. Maybe you add breathing. But attention, it's still every day at the same time. This is where most people fail. They get cocky. They think they've got it. They start skipping days. They start negotiating. Don't be most people. Separate, transcend. Day 61 onwards. This is where the magic happens. The practice becomes part of you. You don't do meditation. You're meditative. It's no longer discipline. It's identity. And then you can add the next practice, and the next, and the next, but always one at a time. Let me tell you why you failed until today. You tried to change everything at once. Wake up early and meditate and work out and eat well and read more and imagine trying to learn guitar, piano, drums, violin, and saxophone all at once. You'd suck at all of them, but master guitar first, and suddenly learning piano becomes easier. Master piano, and drums make more sense. That's EGO, not discipline. The Japanese have a proverb, Nanakorobi ya oki, fall 7 times, get up 8. But there's a detail nobody tells you. They fall doing the same thing, not different things. They master one art, then another, the area of conscious effort. You try to master 10 arts at the same time and master none. It's like, that's the Japanese way. Sequential mastery, not simultaneous mediocrity. Now, if you're the skeptical type, and you should be, let me show you the neuroscience behind this. Researchers at Kyoto University discovered that martial arts masters have completely different brain activity during practice. Beginners show high activity in the prefrontal cortex. They understood the brain through thousands of years of observation and practice. Masters, almost zero activity in the prefrontal. The activity is in the basal ganglia, the area of automatic habits. Translation: masters don't use willpower. They operate on autopilot. But here is the most interesting part. It takes an average of 66 days to create this neural pathway, not 21 days like coaches say, 66. You know what's 66 days? About 2 months. Exactly the time of Shu-Ha in the Japanese method. Coincidence? I don't think so. These ancient masters understood neuroscience before neuroscience existed. Let me show you this working in real life. Carlos, 34 years old, tried 15 different morning routines in 2 years. All failed. Applied the method, chose one thing, making his bed every day. That's it, making the bed every single day. Same time. Sounds stupid? In the first 30 days, he thought so too. Days 31 to 60, started doing it better. Adjusted the sheets, organized the pillows. Day 61 onwards, making the bed became automatic. Added, washing his face with cold water. Today, 8 months later, he has a 2-hour morning routine that includes meditation, exercise, reading, and planning. But it started with making the bed. Marina, VP at a bank, suffered from chronic anxiety. Tried meditation 20 times. Always quit. Applied the method. 1 deep breath before opening emails. That's it. 1 breath. Inhale for 4. Hold for 4. Exhale for 4. Today, she meditates 30 minutes a day and cut her anxiety medication in half. But it started with 1 breath. The pattern is always the same. Start stupidly small, be boringly consistent, then expand naturally. Now comes the part that's gonna change your paradigm forever. Western discipline is about doing. Japanese discipline is about being. When you understand this, everything changes. You don't have discipline, you become disciplined. You don't practice habits, you become your habits. You don't try to improve, you are improvement. And here's the final plot twist. You know why the Japanese work so much and live so long. Why they're productive and happy. Why they're disciplined and relaxed. Because they're not at war with themselves. They're in harmony. Discipline, for them, isn't effort. It's flow. It's not struggle. It's dance. It's not force. It's art. When you fight yourself, you lose energy. When you flow with yourself, you gain energy. They're not burning fuel fighting themselves. They're surfing the wave of their own nature. That's why they can work 12-hour days and still have energy for family, hobbies, life. So here's my challenge for you. Everything. Forget everything you learned about discipline. Choose one thing, one small thing, something that takes less than 5 minutes, and make it a kata every day. Same time for 66 days. No Instagram to show off. No accountability partner. No cute app. Just you and the practice. And when people ask how you changed so much, you'll smile and say, I didn't change, I became. Because that's the Japanese truth about discipline. You don't do. You are. And when you understand this, man, when you live this, Discipline stops being your problem and becomes your superpower, not because you're strong, but because you don't need to be anymore. If this video opened your mind, share it with someone who needs to hear this. Comment below what your first kata is gonna be. I'll follow up and respond to everyone. And if you want more content that's gonna change how you think about success, productivity, and life, you know what to do. See you in the next video. But remember, it's not about watching more videos. It's about becoming the person who doesn't need videos. Until next time.